Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Kim, again, the newest member of the Avana Plastic Surgery family and social media team, and I'm sitting here with one of our incredible doctors. We have Dr. Mcdaniel. We've decided that he is one of our Prince Charmings that happen to be on the Avana Plastic Surgery team. We have a lot of them, but Dr. Mcdaniel, we could easily come up with a McDreamy, McSteamy, any of these, I'm sure, McNames. Give me a few more weeks here, guys, and I'll have one for you. But this is really exciting. Obviously, Doc, we were talking a little bit about, your experience here in South Florida. You've been with the Avana Plastic Surgery team for close to a year now. You came from Southern California via North Carolina. So you've definitely been in the business for a long time. I have to ask you, out of all the places that you've practiced, where's your favorite?
Definitely Miami.
Smart
Beautiful
man.
weather, great patience.
Yeah, and obviously what a great team you have here. At Avana. I've only been, in the building for about a week or so, but there's such a great vibe and chemistry amongst the staff. I know in the first live that I did, I pointed out how incredible the facility is because it's really like a one-stop shop. You have everything right here at the patient's fingertips, from obviously the consultation facility. We have the pre-op, we have post-op massage. They've got what we call fajas. They call shapewear in a lot of other places, but this is specifically for people who have gotten cosmetic procedures done. Again, it's right here. So by the time you're leaving after your surgery, you've got all your bases covered.
Yeah, we don't want you to have to look for things. When you come here, a lot of patients are coming from out of town, so they really don't know Miami well. So everything's provided for you, and they really help you along the way so you can have the best surgery, best outcome, and best experience you can have.
I love that. So I have to ask, before we get into something very cool that's happening with you the month of December, I had a breast augmentation done about 7 or 8 years ago, not here at Avana, with another incredible doctor. But I had a lot of questions going into, my surgery. I did a lot of research. I was Googling, all kinds of different doctors. And in places like Miami, which happens to be the #1 plastic surgery destination in the United States of America. So people are coming in from all over the place. It can be difficult. It can be overwhelming, right?
You're right.
Especially if you don't have a personal reference. You don't know somebody that went to a doctor that you loved their work. As a person who does this for a living, what would you encourage anybody who's considering a breast augmentation, a BBL, which is obviously super popular in 2023, lipo, a mommy makeover? What are some of the processes or some of the checklist items that you would encourage patients to kind of go through as they decide where they want to go?
Well, I think kind of knowing what you're getting into is important. So one, looking for information on whatever surgery you think you need, or reaching out to the doctors here. The coordinators here are really helpful and talk with us a lot about patients have questions. What do they need? Do they need liposuction, a tummy tuck? So getting involved and not just letting someone tell you what you need, but learning why you need it, #1, and what's the right surgery for you, because there's not a blanket surgery for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I don't want to come across rude. I'm just trying to jump on our live so I can see if there's any questions. If you have any questions for Dr. Mcdaniel, now's the time. Get them out. If you've been considering, a breast augmentation, if you've been considering a BBL. Again, if you don't know what that is, because I got home last night and I was talking to my mom, and she was like, or was it my mom? It was somebody, and they were like, "What does BBL stand for? Is it big butt?" And I was like, "No, it stands for Brazilian butt lift." I know there's we throw terms around all the time, right? Like I heard something new here, lipo 360. What is that?
So lipo 360 is just kind of a generic term that we and a lot of people use to talk about liposuction all the way around your core, basically. So we consider it 12 areas, and they're separated and used, but it's majority just around your core, front and back. A lot of times that's combined with a BBL to really get enough fat to transfer to the butt.
Is this, I don't want to say is it an upgrade, but is this a new technique that's been developed over time, instead of just highlighting one particular area, going, a more cohesive route? Or
I think it's been developed and it's been revolutionized to where, with the right anesthesia, it's safe to now do at least under 4 liters here in Florida, but safe to do more liposuction, and it really allows you to have a better contour into your body altogether.
Which I have to tell you, and we were discussing it before we jumped on this live, just scrolling through some of the before and afters here at Avana, I was absolutely blown away. Again, I've been in South Florida for the better part of 2.5 decades. Seen a lot of plastic surgery. I've talked to a lot of different plastic surgeons. I know that a lot of procedures happen to be, I don't want to say redos, but folks coming in because they weren't necessarily happy with the results the first time around. And going through these photos, you guys have to take a minute when we're done with this live just to scroll through the timeline. The work here is absolutely incredible. The results he's talking about. No, I mean, fantastic. I saw a video that you did actually with a BBL recently that was on Instagram, and she was still on the table, which means the surgery had just been completed, and it looked phenomenal, which isn't necessarily something you would think would be happening right after you sew somebody up. So again, I highly recommend scrolling the timeline and checking out the website. But I do see we have a question here from Ingrid. Ingrid said, what are the dangers of fat necrosis after a BBL?
Well, the dangers of fat necrosis is, number one, we worry about infection. Anytime tissue necrosis or dies, we worry about infection. More common than not, though, and fat necrosis just has irregular contours, less concerning for a health standard, but more of an aesthetic and cosmetic appearance. So it's really important to follow the instructions. A lot of fat necrosis occurs from sitting on the butt or wearing tight clothing. And so all of these things are important to pay attention to after your surgery, especially.
I love this. I feel like I could sit here with you for like an hour and just ask all the questions. I do want to say Brandy checked in and she said, I traveled to Ivana from North Dakota and it was so well worth it. So to anybody who might be on the live in another state, I know there was somebody I saw on our Instagram that had come in from, I want to say Cleveland, Ohio, super excited with their results. Again, Miami is the #1 destination in the country for plastic surgery procedures, and for a good reason. We've got the best doctors on the planet, especially here at Ivana. No pressure, doc. No pressure. I just said you're like the best on the planet. Again, keep the questions coming, but I do want to point out, because she traveled from North Dakota, so obviously we have people coming into town, and even for the folks who are local. You mentioned people sitting on their bums after having this particular surgery. What are some of the things that maybe people don't realize as far as post-op goes that are super important to make sure you're paying attention to?
Yeah, so each surgery is going to be a little different, but for liposuction or Brazilian butt lift, I tell people the surgery is relatively the easy part of your whole experience. What's important and what's most important for your results are massages after surgery regularly, wearing compression that's the recommended compression. Sometimes I have patients who go to various recovery houses or have friends who have had surgery and they say, no, you need to do this or that. Just follow your doctor's instructions, because that's what has given them the best results in their experience and their training.
I love it. Did you hear what follow your doc, not your tia, not your prima, not the person on Instagram. Like, listen to your doctor. You just paid all of this money to have this incredible body that you love. The last thing you want to do is jack it up, on your flight home or in the immediate aftermath. And what I didn't realize was, again, we say beauty is pain, all of these things. It's not necessarily that it's pain, but it can be a pain in the butt. Because this is an extended process, especially with something like a BBL, right? Like
your final results, you're not going to see for 6 months or so. So don't jump to conclusions. In a week or two, worry and start trying to change what you're doing in your recovery. Just trust the process and give it time.
Yeah, I was going to say my boobs were like up here. I first had them done for the better part of a year, and I kept on rubbing them and one day I woke up and I was like, oh, I like these. This is good. Now, you did say that your favorite procedure to do, you love to do a great mommy makeover. And we know there's a lot of folks coming up on the holidays that have got this on there. I call it our adult, Santa list, right? Because your kids write one list, and as adults, we write something else. I don't know what's on a man's, but I know a lot of times what's on a woman's. And coming to Ivana is probably pretty high up there on quite a few. So talk to me about, the mommy makeover experience, or a really good, lipo, why you love doing them, and why it's important to have, the right doctor when you're having a procedure like this.
Yeah, so mommy makeover is my favorite surgery by far, because you can see such an immediate change and such life-changing results immediately after surgery. Now, that's not to say you won't have swelling and your results aren't going to get better with time, like liposuction, but with a mommy makeover, which I consider a tummy tuck and breast surgery with or without a lift, it's such a drastic change and such a nice shape for a woman who's gone through a lot. Most of these women have had children or had massive weight loss. So it's a really nice, really the cherry on top. Once they've recovered, they're back into a healthy lifestyle after weight loss, or, they've lost the mommy weight and they're ready to have their body back.
Now, I was asking Dr. Lester, I do have to say this. We were talking about kind of maintenance, right? Once you have a lipo procedure, obviously you look snatched, you look fantastic, you're feeling confident. How do we maintain that, though?
Yeah. I think going into surgery and knowing that your results are not going to last if you don't commit to them. So maintaining, like I said, a healthy lifestyle, exercise, diet, and especially early on following instructions like we talked about earlier.
Okay, perfect. And again, you can follow up with your doctors. I will tell you this, if you're watching this live and you have any questions, especially about the mommy makeover, obviously you can slide in our DMs. You can drop a comment once we've posted this on the actual timeline. You can comment now, or I highly recommend reaching out to Brandy. She's in the comments. You're the person who did her mommy makeover, the woman from North Dakota. And she said he's phenomenal, hands down. So, I mean, the proof is in the proof, guys. Like, we have somebody who is checking in post-op. She's super happy with the results. She's Brandy on this live. So if you see her and you have questions, you can always kind of, slide into the DMs. I love when women or anybody who's had any sort of cosmetic surgery is honest, about the experience. I know for me, when people ask, what have you had done? I'm always like, I had my breast augmentation, I've had Botox, I've had some fillers in my lips, all of these things, because I feel like we have to break down the stigma a little bit. Right. And that's why I love that Ivana has decided to do these lives and make it really so much more accessible to get the information and to kind of normalize the conversation. So again, if you're looking for a mommy makeover, Brandy says Dr. McDaniel's the person to come see. And now we get to the fun part, Doc. When I walked through the doors today, they were like, by the way, we have a holiday giveaway. Right. And I was like, okay, word, talk to me. And apparently, we're going to be giving away a surgery of your choice. And by your choice, I'm talking to anybody watching this live, anybody that follows us on social media, a surgery of your choice with our Disney prince himself, Dr. Mcdaniel. Now, you've just gotten the cosign from Brandy. I did not know she was going to be on this live, guys. So Brandy says he's the guy to get the mommy makeover with. Obviously, he loves to do lipo. You heard why, because you have these immediate life-changing results, like as soon as you're getting off the table and walking out the door, which is fantastic. If anybody is watching and maybe they've been considering things, right? And they're thinking, oh, I would love to have boobs done. I would love to have, Lipo 360, I'd like to have they're just kind of, some people know exactly what they want to have done. Other people are like, I'd love to have a lot of things done. If you can only have one, because you can only have one, we're only giving you one. That's still a very big deal, but we're giving you one. To start anyway. Which one would you recommend people go with?
I think it depends on the body, but I think that, a breast surgery can be really life-changing for someone who's always wanted that. It's a nice immediate change as well, whether that's a lift, breast augmentation, or both, or liposuction is a good option too. You really can change your, the process you've started. Remember, a lot of the liposuction tummy tucks, you've got to be committed to it. So if you're on the weight loss track or changing your life for the new year, a healthy diet, we can also help out.
I love it. Oh, I love me. 92 said, McDaniel, you are giving. And then put a little peach. I'm sorry. I love you guys. You guys are incredible. So again, please continue to comment. We're going to continue to do these lives. We have another person. Her name is Roxy. She does a lot of them in Spanish. So I apologize if we have anybody who speaks, en Espanol, because I don't, and neither does Dr. McDaniel. But Roxy is always jumping on our Instagram account, posting videos and catching up with the doctors as well. But I highly recommend, again, any questions, any comments, you can obviously DM us. You can reach out via the website. We have the link in the bio. Just click on that and it'll take you there. Remember, Dr. McDaniel is going to be giving away a surgery of your choice. And all you have to do is literally find the post on our Instagram account. It's very easy. All the directions on how you can register are going to be right there in the comments. You have until December 27th to do this. Now, listen, if you happen to, fellas, you are not exempt from this. So you can get in with this too. Do you do ab etching?
We do. So that's a great surgery as well.
Listen to me. We'll get into this later. We'll get into the whole thing. I'm telling you, you have to look at the timeline, because if you see some of these ab results here, whatever you've heard about abs being, built in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. No, abs are made at Ivana Plastic Surgery. Just that's the new saying moving forward from 2023 and on. Abs are made at Ivana. I like that. Period, right? Yeah, there you go. But again, fellas, if you're watching and there's something that you would like to have done, and actually I would love to have the doctors talk about that too. But again, I've taken up too much of your time. He was busy. He was actually doing a whole, I think, what were you doing before you came
tummy
here?
tuck.
He was doing a tummy tuck literally before he came in here with me on a Friday afternoon. So again, I register and sign up, because they can obviously gift the procedure to you if they win, and then spend whatever money they were going to spend on the breast augmentation or the lipo anyway, because they were the ones that were going to pay for it. They can spend it on something else, or maybe you can then get that second procedure that you were looking to have done. But regardless, Dr. McDaniel going to be doing an incredible holiday giveaway, making all of your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa wishes come true. Right here on our Instagram, you have until December 27th to sign up. I don't know if this is another question, but I'm getting pictures here. I think we've touched on everything. And then also, more exciting news. We have another location opening up. It'll be our second Avana Plastic Surgery Center. It's going to be opening in Hialeah sooner than later. As soon as we have an actual date, we will make sure to give you that information. But this guy right here will be working out of that office as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Brand new, pristine office is beautiful. Can't wait.
Guys, he's been here a year and a half. I'm not going to tell you where he lives, but we have to show him how Hialeah does it. You know what I mean? So just make sure that we're supporting. Again, follow, like, subscribe, share, all of those good things. Make sure you sign up for our holiday giveaway. You have until December 27th to do that. I'm not totally sure when you're going to actually watch this video after the live and it gets posted, but you have until December 27th. We'll pull a winner. I'm sure our team will reach out to you either via DM or through your phone number or whatever. But again, you have plenty of time. So spread the word. I say share it in your Insta story, right? And you let everybody that loves you know.
It's a good option.
Go ahead, sign up, because again, if they don't want the procedure, they can gift it to you. That's how this works. But thank you so much, Dr. McDaniel.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Is there anything else that you have before we go? I know we can kind of, get with you at a later date, but did we?
I think you covered it all.
Yeah. He's like, girl, shush already. I want to go home and start my weekend. But anyway, we appreciate you. I think we've touched on a lot of things. Again, please, if you have any questions, feel free to DM us. Our team is incredible. Dr. McDaniel said it first. As soon as you press follow, I bet you get a DM. If you haven't already followed us on Instagram, as soon as you press follow, somebody will slide in your DMs and ask you how they can help. And if they can't answer the question, they will go to a doctor, and our doctors do a lot of Q&As. So just make sure you're following along. And do you have your own Instagram?
I do. Yeah. You can always reach out to me and talk directly to me. So that's a perfect option.
I love it. And he's got a lot of great work. Did you have like before and afters and stuff on your Instagram?
Tons of it. Videos, educational, all sorts of stuff.
Do you have your food on there?
Some.
Do you have your vacation? I'm joking. I'm kidding. Anyway, we appreciate you. Have an incredible weekend. Be safe out there. And obviously make sure you're following along with Avana Plastic Surgery.
See ya.